Hi guys, we're back again. We're back again.
Hey, we're back again. We're back again. I like that. That's live.
We should have that as our proper intro. But yeah, we're back again, guys. It's Alté Ldn Podcast. Yeah, back here to just talk our nonsense.
100%.
We've got Afia, and we've also got
Charlene.
And yeah, this week we're actually going to be talking about alternative music.
Yes.
So music that we were listening to like growing up, or like things that were just like different in our areas, like stuff that people weren't really listening to that made us feel like a bit others.
Yes.
So yeah,
definitely a
that's
verb.
what we're going to be going into.
And we're definitely in a musical mood today.
Yeah, I know. I think I'm just so tired that I just feel delirious. I'm just like doing
Listen,
whatever
it gets like
nonsense.
that. Guys,
But,
it's been what, we're 3 months plus in lockdown, and legit, like I think at this stage we're probably tired of being tired. Do you know what I mean?
Right,
like,
exactly.
aside from all the other things we've got to do, like work and whatever, but yeah, like we're just tired of being tired. So obviously let us know if you feel that way too, but it's very real out here. It's very real.
Yeah, very much. So yeah, with that said, like, how were you introduced to like the sort of music that you like today? Because obviously, like when you were growing up, I know that you listened to a lot of like alternative stuff, and that's obviously shaped the stuff that you listen to now. But like, how are you actually like introduced to the music that you listen to? And you can talk about like the bands that you were into at the time as well.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like, I think I was just like in school and I was just like listening to like the regular pop shit. No qualms with that, but it's just like, I don't know, I just wasn't really into it. Like I was just kind of like, these songs are like proper mad. Like they're just kind of like kind of boring, and well, boring to me anyway. So I was just like like, what is this? And then I think one day, I'm not even really sure, I think like there's like one person that was just like banging on about like some bands like Razorlight, and then like obviously like bands like Wheatus, like everyone loves Wheatus, and like Teenage Dirtbag was like a big deal. And so from that, I mean, I would say Teenage Dirtbag was definitely like more on the mainstream side, but from that I decided to do like more sort of like research into like that kind of like indie-ish kind of vibe, and then that's when I came across like Dandy Warhols and like Wheatus. Oh well, that is Wheatus. Sorry, Weezer. Yeah. I meant to say Weezer. And bands like that, and I was like, shit, like this stuff is just such a vibe. Like I don't know, I just kind of really liked like chill like guitar vibes, and that's kind of like how I got into it. What about you? Like how did you sort of?
So like, yeah, that's interesting, because like I would say in primary school it was the same. Like I was into like more of the mainstream stuff, and I don't know if it was the same in your school, but like when I was in primary school it was really like big on like garage. So it was like So Crew, like all that. Garage was big like back then. Big, man. And then when I went to secondary school, that's when I started to listen to like other types of music. I remember this girl that I was sitting next to in class. She was actually from my primary school as well. We went to the same secondary school. Yeah. And she was listening to music on her headphones. And I was like, oh, what are you listening to? And she was like, oh, yeah, have a listen. So we just shared headphones. And she was like playing me like Green Day. She was playing me Fall Out Boy.
Yeah.
And I've mentioned Fall Out Boy in the previous episodes, but like, yeah, she is the reason why I listened to Fall Out Boy. So like Fall Out Boy were just...
Do you know why I'm laughing? Do you actually know why I'm laughing?
Okay,
because of his hair. No, because of his hair. Because as we told you before, we really need to release that
mixed
picture.
Race.
No, but it's not even that. We have to release a picture of you and Pete Wentz's hair, like how you used to copy him.
Do you know what? No, you're actually exaggerating, because it was not. Basically, guys, if you haven't heard yet, Charlene trying to say that I had my hair like Pete Wentz was just not true. But like, they were definitely an influence. So yeah, I used to listen to like, it was like Fall Out Boy, then it was like Paramore, Panic at the Disco, Foo Fighters, like all that stuff. She was getting me into so many things. Yeah. But like, in my school at the time, people were into like rap, people were into Grimes. Everyone's like, why are you listening to that? Like, what are you doing? That's so weird. Like, no one would understand. But yeah,
I think it's important to say though that like I was like, we were I can speak for myself, but like knowing you now, like I was definitely into like the So Solids and stuff like that, but there was just another part of like my musical kind of like circumference, if you like, that wasn't being like fulfilled. And then when I was like hearing that kind of music, I was like, oh wow, like this shit is actually such a vibe. And I think maybe that also came from like us being like musicians as well. I wanted to like learn, so like I taught myself the guitar when I was quite young, and like all the songs I used to teach myself were literally like old folk songs and like old like indie songs, because those are like the easier ones to play, so like the Bob Dylan stuff and that, you know, that type of thing. So like that's kind of how I got into it as well, by like wanting to learn the guitar and like finding songs that were easy to like teach myself how to play.
That's cool.
But yeah, no, I feel like for me, like as well, again, like some of the films and stuff like that and TV shows that I was watching definitely was like a big impact on that too.
Yeah, for sure. And
probably some films that I probably should have been watching at that age.
Like what?
Like Cruel Intentions. I watched that when I was quite young.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it came out in like 99.
Right, so you saw that so young, so we must have been like, what?
I was probably like 10 or something like that when I saw the film, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so interesting. Like, shout out to my parents.
Shout out to your parents. But the playlist is like my mum, I actually asked for it for Christmas one time because I love the playlist so much. But like obviously it starts with this. Who's the song by? It's by I've forgotten the band. And I actually love this band. Right, I'm gonna be really annoyed. I'm gonna have to find the band. But yeah, it starts with like a band that I supposedly like, but not enough because I don't even remember the name. Yes, Placebo. Okay, it starts with a Placebo song. It's like Every You Every Me. Yeah, sick song. And then obviously the film ends with Bittersweet Symphony, which is like literally one of like the best and like I always one of the best written songs ever. But I always tell the story of this, like I know Charlene's heard it 6 million times. I always say it, like, you know, they obviously the Verve used the sample from the Rolling Stones, but they didn't credit them for the sample basically, and then like for all these years they hadn't been paid for, and so the royalties were just going to Rolling Stones the whole time. And I think they only settled it like recently. They're like, all right, fine, you can maybe get like 20%, but like all these years
I didn't know that. I actually didn't know that story.
You didn't? Oh, I thought I told you. I tell everyone every time. That's what I tell everyone.
Oh mad.
So but yeah, so the Verve, so the it comes from Rolling Stones song that no one even fucking knows for one, because I was like, what is this song? But yeah, so it came from them. They didn't go through like the right copyright processes, and then like they were like, well, you used our sample without asking us, so we own it now.
And that's one of the biggest songs ever.
It is.
It's a classic song. I think everyone must know that song. I wonder, like,
yeah.
Let me see how many records it sold. It must have. I mean,
oh yeah, it must have been crazy.
Absolutely.
When did it come out? 90s. It was obviously in the 90s.
It came out 1997.
Fuck. So all these years, that's 20 odd years.
Crazy. That is crazy. That's actually crazy. That's actually so peak.
That's actually sad. But guys, that's a big point. If you're a musician, make sure you're crediting who you're fucking song.
Can I just say shout outs to Afia's water bottle that I'm hearing clanking in the background?
Oh no, don't bring attention to it.
Listen, we're real and we're raw, okay?
And I don't want to do product placement. Maybe I'll get arrested. Wait, will I get arrested for doing product placement?
No, I mean,
it begins with a C and ends with a Y. It's a C, ends with Y bottle. So you know what I'm talking about. Get it, because it's great. But don't see me for
no, because you're just giving them free promotion.
I know, but that's why I didn't say the name.
Wow. But anyway,
moving on.
But actually, no, on the real thing though, that song was nominated for like every single award in life, because it's just such a good song. Yeah. And like for me, like when I heard that song, I was like, oh my god, this is so dope. And that it really opened my eyes to other things like Secret Garden and just like all those like kinds of bands and things like that that had great songs. So yeah, U2 as well.
No.
Did you like
U2 for real? No, I hate U2, and I got even more pissed off. Remember when they put the fucking album on everyone's phone?
Oh,
do you remember that?
I think it's still on my phone. I actually think it's still on my phone.
No, I deleted it.
If you've got an iPhone,
might still be on my phone.
No,
wait, don't promote these people for free. Don't promote these people for free. I've got a phone. That's what I've got. So, but yeah, no, I remember when they put they put the fucking album on everyone's phone.
No, that's what it is. It's on my laptop. It's on my laptop.
Okay,
and it's just taking up space. They took the piss.
No one wants the U2 album, please.
No, not that album.
Maybe,
but they had
you
classics.
do.
They had classics.
Do they? Like what?
They had classics.
Okay. We're going to agree to disagree on this one.
Well, like, yeah, this is what it's like to be alternative people. So, like, no one gets it. Like, literally, I'll be listening to shit and no one gets it. Like,
but speaking of like good like 90s bands though, bands like that we actually both love, like No Doubt. I fucking love No Doubt so much.
First of all, Gwen Stefani was actual pioneer. Like, she was a pioneer.
Yeah.
And she was
even
honestly
though she was
like
a bit cultural appropriatory, but
100%.
Yes.
But I think she realizes that though, and I feel like she definitely acknowledges that. But it's because she was, I guess she was actually like a Rich Valley girl, wasn't she?
Yeah. It's really weird. I was reading her story the other day. So she joined the band through her brother. Yeah. So her brother was in the band initially, and then they were like, "Oh, we need a singer," because our other one just left. She was like, "Cool, I'll do it."
Yeah.
And then that's how like No Doubt sort of began, which is quite interesting. But they're from the Valley. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they had money. I feel like the thing is like she definitely was cultural appropriating, but I think she gave
the 90s. Anything went apparently.
I know, right? But I think she gave credit where credit was due, and like obviously she was showing mad love to like ska, and really brought ska to like the forefront. To be honest with you, well, in the Western world, in America anyway. But yeah, no doubt for me. Like I feel like Gwen Stefani definitely like helped me again to make me feel like, to make me realise that, you know what, like it's cool to be different. Like she gave zero fucks.
She had her own shit going on.
100%. Yeah. 100%. And like I'm wondering, like I guess now, like, you know, in current society, you know, it's definitely a bit more, it's way more normal to just be like different. In fact, I feel like now being different is almost celebrated to an extent. When you see people who are just like, you know, just not regular or don't dress regularly or make like sort of music that's, well, music is still a bit iffy, like, you know. But you know, people are definitely a bit more accepting.
Definitely.
So yeah,
which is great. We've come so far like from that time. And like speaking of Californian music, Red Hot Chili Peppers. So like I love the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I've seen them,
and every time
so good.
Yeah. You've seen them?
I told you.
You're so lucky. You know, you did tell me. Where did you see them though? Was it at Wembley Stadium?
At Jonathan Ross.
Oh, at Jonathan Ross.
Jonathan Ross.
Oh yeah, Jonathan Ross.
Jonathan Ross. If you're listening in the UK, guys, you know what I'm doing. Jonathan Ross.
What song did they do?
They did a few songs. So they did a new song at a time. So that was why they were there, to promote a new song.
Cool.
And then what else they do? They did one of their main ones, so either like Underbridge or Californication, something like that. To be honest with you, I'm not gonna lie, it was a long time ago. It's probably almost 10 years ago at Jonathan Ross.
Yeah, that's Jonathan Ross. That was like prime time TV though, because it was like Graham Norton was on the Friday night. Wait, was he on Friday night as well, or was it just Graham Norton? Because it was like Graham Norton then like Jonathan Ross, because I used to watch both.
Jonathan Ross. Sorry guys, it's actually not going to get old. Jonathan Ross is on Saturdays,
and Graham Norton was on Friday
nights,
He was so naughty. I used to watch it with my mum, and it was so like explicit, and she would let me watch it
Graham
as well.
Norton?
Yeah,
Graham Norton was, but he's wicked though. I think he's wicked.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, I love
like he's just got like a unique way that he like interviews people. I think it's great. And I like the fact that they, you know, like we don't really have like a lot of talk shows like that in the UK, to be honest with you. The main ones are like really Jonathan Ross and Graham Norton. and Graham Norton.
That's it really.
Yeah,
and then they had like Paul O'Grady and shit like that. But
they're long gone.
Yeah, from time.
I know, right? Or like Alan Carr as well.
Alan Carr,
he was
fun.
Yeah. First of all, can we just talk about an alt queen, aka Rihanna? Her episode on Alan Carr was fucking hilarious.
Have I seen it?
He was doing the bogle.
I've seen it.
He was doing. It was you definitely seen it. Like it was like an iconic moment. So she comes out, and at the time she had like curly blonde hair at the top, and then like sort of shaved sides. And she comes out in this like colourful outfit, and it was a time of Rude Boy. And then so they're having an interview, and then he's like teaching her different moves, and then he teaches her the bogle.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, she teaches him the bogle, and it was so funny, so funny.
Alan Carr, God. Wait, so speaking of gigs though, did you go to any alternative gigs, like any alternative band gigs that you can remember?
No, so not to be honest with you, that sort of started to happen. I think when growing up I was kind of like, I'm listening to all this music and I just don't really know what to do with myself, because there was just no one around me that was listening to it. So all the bands that we mentioned so far were like, I was listening to those songs and it's just like, okay, I'm just gonna like listen to them by myself in silence, because like generally like none of my friends were into it. Like my sister like was into definitely a few things for sure, but like none of my friends were into it. And then so I think my first experience of going to like quote unquote an alternate gig was definitely like in uni. Where the uni I went to, we had like a open mic type thing, and it was like once a month I think, and so a lot of students used to sign up and do it. And there was a guy who sang about a song sang a song about a time there was a brick in his head, and it was very bizarre. Shout out to you, and actually you know him, Afia, so
do I?
You do know him, so
okay.
Yeah, we work with him.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yes.
So we and it's mad because when I realised that was him, how many years later, I was like, oh my god. I was so freaked out at the time though, and I was just like, this is really bizarre. And so I think for me, like, I'm not gonna front, I didn't like the song that much, but for me it's about expression.
Open the doors for you.
Yeah, exactly. For sure, it opened doors for me. But what about you? Like, when did you go to your sort of first alternate gig?
My first alternate gig was with because my friend's brother was like really into that scene, so he was heavily into like Placebo. I'd say was like his favorite band, and My Chemical Romance. So like we really wanted to go to a gig, but we were only 14, and so we were like, oh my gosh, Fall Out Boy's coming, like we have to go. And like her brother was 18, he was like, it's fine, like I love Fall Out Boy, I'll take you. So we went there. It was at Brixton Academy, and like we were standing like right at the back on the slope, and I was just like, I just saw people moshing at the front, and I just really badly just wanted to run in and go. But my friend, like, she's quite claustrophobic, so she was like, I literally can't. So we just stayed and watched, but it was still like a sick experience. And like I knew from then, I was like, I need to, like, whenever I can the next time, I need to get into the crowd and just fucking go and lose my shit. But yeah, Fall Out Boy were like my first alternative gig. And then after that, it was like I've seen Paramore so many fucking times.
Have you?
Paramore so many times. So I made sure to see them, like, if I could get tickets every year that they came. So I've probably seen them maybe 5 or 6 times.
No, right, you got a real problem.
So I love, look, if you know me, okay.
No, I mean, I know how much you love
Hayley
Williams. I already know.
I love Hayley Williams. I love Paramore. That band is everything to me, honestly. But yeah, I've seen them like so many times. So I saw them first time at like Wembley Arena. So it wasn't the same. Yeah, Wembley Arena. Then I saw them at the O2. Then I saw them at Reading and Leeds Festival twice. I've just seen them those times. Yeah, those are my next 3 bands. Wait, have you been to any festivals?
Yeah, I don't really fuck with festival life, to be honest with you. So I've been to a few like once a day, but yeah, I'm not into the, I can't mess with not washing. I'm not here for it. Like, and so that's about as far as my alternate lifestyle goes.
Have you ever moshed though? Have you actually ever moshed?
Have I ever washed?
Moshed. What am I saying? I can't even speak. Moshed.
I was like, what? I just said I don't like the idea of not washing. And you were like, have you ever So how about now? I'm not into moshing either. So yeah, moshing and washing are things that are important to me. I don't like moshing, but I like washing.
You like to wash. That's good.
I like to wash. But no, I'm not here for it either. If I see a mosh pit, I definitely want to stand at least 5 meters away, if not 10, because I'm not here for
you had the coronavirus training on look.
I'm not here for injuries. I'm not here for injuries though. That's just not the vibe. It's not the vibe. And like, I'm not gonna front, like, I see people doing some weird stuff. Like, if you're gonna have a mosh, have an organised mosh. Like, I actually don't understand the value of moshing. So maybe we could talk about that. What is the value of moshing? Like, what is it? Because I don't get it.
It gets out like so much, like not necessarily like rage, but if you've just got energy. When I'm seeing a band, like I feel so filled with energy, and it just like allows you to get that out and just like piss about for a few minutes. And like at first it is scary, and I think it does depend what band you're listening to. I think the worst one that I've ever been in was like, who was it? I can't even remember the name of the bands, but it was like a heavy metal sort of band, and it was at Reading, and people were like standing in the middle and like punching their fists out. I was like, okay, no, this is actually going too far.
That sounds like back in the day when they used to play POW, and people used to punch when they say POW, like, I'm Lee for the beat, POW. If you don't know about me, like, that's even as bad as that.
People are doing too much. But those are the people who like ruin it, I feel like. But yeah, other ones I've just gone and like people like just pushing about, and you just like, it's just funny.
I'm not here for it, because if you push, I'm gonna push you back, but it's not gonna be a funny pushback.
Yeah, that's the point.
It's gonna be like I'm gonna drop you to the ground. Yeah, don't ever do that. Don't touch me. Like honestly, I'm not understanding. Listen, at the end of the day, if I wanted to break my neck, I'll just do a dirty wine. Like, I'm not trying to do like.
People do break their shit. I heard like at like Slipknot concerts, people were breaking like ribs and stuff, and like I don't know what type of moshing they're doing to be breaking their ribs, but like fucking hell.
If I wanted to do break my neck, I'll do the dirty wine. It's like it's way more. I think for me, it's a bit more beneficial, because at least you're working your waist at the same time. You know, lose a few calories.
Just get your core workout in.
Get your core workout in. You know, then you're also practicing for the bedroom. You know, whatever.
Let's keep it PG.
It's fact.
So what artists are you into? Wait, no, this is too early. Let me think. I want to like save the good stuff to like right at the end. Wait, what artists are you into now? I'm just gonna ask anyway. What artists are you into now?
So for me, like, my musical palette is eclectic. I can't stand when people say that. I'm not gonna lie to you, because like, eclectic. What does that actually mean? Like, just say a few artists that you like. Like, I like the word eclectic, but I just feel like it's a cop out when you're like, oh yeah, what kind of music do you? Well, I've got an eclectic music taste.
I mean, like, I listen to everything. Yeah.
But like, shut up. But now I'm so happy, because I feel like in recent years, they've definitely an alternate sort of like R&B genre has kind of formed, which is so cool. And so like definitely like when, for example, SZA came out, and really when Jhené Aiko came out, I was like, fuck, like I really feel like I can, like, this resonates with me. Like, this is the kind of like thing I'm looking for, because it's like alternate to like the sort of typical R&B, which is great, don't get me wrong, but like it's just got a different, like a weird ass kind of vibe to it. Like the instrumentals are slightly strange, like some weird like instruments and sounds are being used, and then like the subject matter as well is like different. And you know, like, I mean, SZA says like, chipping away on boulders, I come from far, 40 days, 40 nights, no new star, fuck your third eye. Like, it doesn't make any sense, but
but you still vibed with it anyway,
right?
So
no, that's the point. Like, good. I'm like, okay, cool, like, oh my gosh, like, what is she really saying? So yeah, I say all that to say that I really mess with like those kind of artists, and like there's just a whole big like alternate R&B genre. So alternate R&B is one, and then alternate Afrobeat. So you might have heard already, I'm African and proud, black and proud always. And so I definitely like my Afrobeats, but like for me, I'm not really into like, but like for me, like the Wizkid and stuff like that is like mainly like the club music, right? And so like if I'm listening to stuff like, and I want to catch a vibe, like there's this whole genre of sort of Nigerian music called alt cruise, and naturally that's, guys, where we got the name kind of for the Alté Ldn Podcast, because and the idea is that they're just like a whole group of like cool like Nigerian kids who dress like differently, wear like really cool shit, make like really cool music, and music that's so different to like what you typically hear in Africa. Because you know, usually Africa's like and you're shaking and it's, don't get me wrong, it's absolutely amazing, like absolutely great, but it's like, it's so amazing there's a space now for people that just don't feel like, oh, like I'm I guess quote unquote normal. So love a lot of those. So you got like Rima, he had that big song, you like his song, like a bomb, make a bomb, make a bomb, make a beam, make a bomb.
I love that song.
So you have Rima, and then you have like Pretty Boy Dio, you have Bodge, and like just some really amazing artists and that. And then still love my band, so got to talk about the Strokes. Guys, I know
you love the Strokes.
We know.
Did you not have your own section in Hot Boys Summer, the Hot Boys Summer episode about Julie and Casablanca?
Go back and listen to that episode, okay? Where I spoke about my hubs, Julie and Casablancas. But for me, I just really love their songs. Like Reptilias are fucking amazing.
Yeah, they go
like they're just like, his voice is just amazing. And again, like for me, like listening to bands like that made me realise how I could use my voice differently. So Afira and I are both musicians, as you've mentioned, and like I guess for me, like I remember going to uni and like my singing teacher telling me like, oh, like I'm gonna make a soul singer out of you, and I don't feel like I quite lived up to what she wanted me to be. And it's just like, I think it's because like that's just not really like what my voice lends to. So, you know, hearing, you know, powerful singers like that, and that's probably why you resonate so well with Hayley Williams as well, but hearing like powerful singers like that, you know, who use their voices differently. So even from a Julian Casablancas to like a SZA who's a bit sort of lighter with her approach, like I was like, shit, like wow, like there's so many different possibilities for me, like, you know, in making music. So yeah, and then Santiago. So I mean, I'm mainly naming a few. There's so many different bands, and maybe we'll think about doing like a playlist. Actually, maybe we should do a playlist. Actually,
we should do a playlist.
Yeah, and maybe put down some like our favorites. But yeah, Santiago as well, like amazing. MIA. MIA is like one of my idols. Like, she is so fucking cool. Like, she's one of them people that I just want to be her friend. Like, do you know what I mean?
I mean, like, and still to this day, I think she's made like one of the best music videos I've ever seen.
Bad
and
Girls.
That is Bad Girls.
Oh
what
my
the
gosh!
Fuck?
Like,
when I saw that, my head was blown. Every time I see it, my head is gone. Like, what? It's just mad. That video. If you've not seen it, watch MIA Bad Girls. The video is mad.
Honestly, and
mad.
she's defying age as well. Like, she doesn't age.
Yeah.
She's like 45. Like, she does not age. It's crazy. So yeah, what about you though? Like, name some of the things that you're into at the moment? Like, what kind of music are you into?
I mean, well, there's like some bands that I've listened to like back when I was younger and that I still listen to now, and artists as well. So obviously we're speaking about Paramore, who I still listen to now. They're still releasing like great songs. I feel like they're getting better with the age, and their sound is changing as well. They're definitely experimenting with the sound like for like every album they do, and I really appreciate them taking the step to just sort of push their boundaries. So I like that. I would say, I don't know if people would say he's necessarily alternative, but I would say Tyler the Creator. And
definitely
I feel like he is, because I feel like he was doing like rage rap and like obviously when he first came out he was like definitely a bit problematic.
First of all, his
like,
voice,
with his bastard
his voice as well though.
Yeah, it's so aggressive and so brash, like fucking radical. I can't even do it. But it's just deep as fuck and like really like brash. But yeah, when I first heard like Tyler the Creator, when he first came out with like his Bastard and his Goblin EPs, I was like, who's this guy? Like, usually rap's like really like chilled out or like it's really hype, but his one's just anger and like just like going for it or whatever. His music, and like I really love his music development now because he's using more like old school samples. So he's like using like Motown samples. He's got like vocalists like fucking, who did he have on? Who's the one who's in every one song? He sings You're Beautiful in that beautiful song with Pharrell. What's his name? Charlie Wilson.
Charlie Wilson.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So he's like used vocalists like that in his tracks, and like his
that's crazy.
Is just
that's
fucking
crazy.
sick. Yeah, man. He's like he's doing bits and he like produces all of his own stuff. So I love that. Who else do I listen to? Thundercat, which is I guess is like somewhat alternate. Thundercat is
definitely
fucking sick.
Definitely
his bass goes like he's crazy. Ridiculous.
I mean, he's a producer and an artist, really.
Like mad, absolutely mad. Moses Sumney, who I love, like his voice is just ridiculous, and he's a beautiful guitarist as well. Like
side note, shout out to our first episode where we expressed our love for Zoe Kravitz. I didn't realise that he sang at her wedding.
Yeah,
like I literally saw that today on Insta, and I was just like, first of all, that wedding looked amazing.
If I could get Moses Sumney at my wedding, what? Oh yeah, beautiful. Zoe Kravitz. Yeah, we love Zoe Kravitz, but yeah, that is sick. Who else do I love? Yeah, there's like loads of different bands that I'm into. Grizzly Bear are like a band that I really love. So Grizzly Bear, they do their stuff. I don't even know how to describe it. It's definitely alternative, but it's like maybe like folk alternative. And I don't like folk music, but it's like folk alternative. I don't know what you've just described.
I'm not gonna lie, folk is probably something I'm not into either, to be honest.
I see it. That's the thing. I don't like folk either, but I would say there's, because they use a lot of like acoustic guitars and it's like very like fast rhythm and stuff like that. But yeah, I love Grizzly Bear. Yeah, there's so many. Mac DeMarco. I love Mac DeMarco. I feel like that's just an obvious one. There are people like, those people who are like, oh yeah, I'm listening to this guy, like I don't know if you know who he is, but it's Mac DeMarco, and it's like everyone fucking knows who Mac DeMarco is.
I don't know who that is.
But yeah, you don't know?
No.
Wow. Okay, I'm actually surprised. I feel
I don't know
Mac DeMarco. King Crawl, and I know Charlene's probably heard me go on about this for so long.
I just don't get it. But yeah.
I feel like he's definitely an acquired taste. I think you have to get over how his voice sounds, because it's quite like like maybe like all over the place and like aggressive sounding, but I think he makes beautiful songs and his lyrics are just so beautiful. But yeah, that's probably like who I'm really into at the moment.
Well, those are not limited.
As well as like I'm a very nostalgic person as well, so I love to like dive back into the songs I was listening to in school. So like still into like Fall Out Boy, Paramore.
I feel like it always can have staples though, like on the playlist. Like I have a playlist like that in my Spotify where it's just like, you know, just like my staples from when I was younger. Like just, you know, nostalgia's real. Listen,
one more band I want to say is Radiohead, because I love Radiohead.
We have to think back to the times that were easier. when life was quote unquote easier. Like when I listen to those songs, I'm just like, oh, Joe, it was that, like when I was in like year 7, year 8, like life was kind of a lot easier. I'm not gonna front. So
I mean, it's easier than these corona times. What is life even going to be like after these times?
I'm telling you, bro.
Do you know what I mean? What's going to happen? But actually, no, speaking of like school, what how do people respond to you listening to this sort of music? Because I feel like definitely important to mention, like I think a lot of black people especially who listen to music that isn't like what's expected of you, because I think society places you in a box and expects that you should listen to only R&B, only rap. And I feel like in our culture we think that we should listen to that as well. So like what was the reaction of your peers? Because I know like so many people say like, oh, people were like, oh, it's just weird, why are you listening to that sort of music? Like there's always like some sort of backlash.
Yeah, I feel like so I feel like because I went to predominantly white schools throughout my whole of my schooling. However, like I would say that my friends were like mainly black. But I was cool with everyone. So I mean as far as like my, I guess, black friends, they didn't really get it. And so we just didn't really talk about that. And so like we spoke about the music that they were into that I didn't mind as well. So, you know, just a sort of more R&B, mainstream, dancehall, you know, reggae, whatever type of stuff. And then that stuff I just was kind of just like a vibe of my own kind of thing, to be honest with you. So yeah, I mean, backlash, I wouldn't say they were kind of just like, that's kind of weird. Like they would say, oh, that's weird, like what's that kind of thing, and they kind of weren't really like open to it, which is a shame. But at the same time, I don't know, I feel interested. I feel it's weird because I've been thinking a lot recently just with everything that's going on, and I think to myself, well, actually other races, mainly white, let's say, we're not really open to our music. So I kind of get like why they were kind of like, well, why would you, you know, I'm not, I think I'm just saying like that I think it's important that we all accept everything. We don't have to like everything, of course, like, you know, everyone's got different taste, but, you know, but it was just an interesting position to be in, to be honest. So I end up just listening to it like on my ones. And like, you know, sometimes like me and my sister would vibe or whatever, but I didn't really have, like, I definitely didn't have any friends that were like into it. I think for me, like, finding more people that kind of aligned in that sense with like that kind of music that I liked was definitely like a lot later on in my life. But yeah, what about you, like in terms of school and stuff like that? Was it like,
I mean, so it's the opposite as you actually. So I went to like, my school was pretty much all black, and it was majority black. So everyone was like listening to grime, which I was enjoying at the time, but like I wasn't like fully enjoying it, and I felt like I was just being fake. I was just going along with the crowd. And then like also obviously I was introduced to the music from my friend, and then I started like just to be open that I was listening to, because people would be like, oh, like what are you listening to on your phone? Because people, if at any time in my school, like if you listen to anything in your headphones, like people would just either pull out your headphone jack and like play out your music just so they could hear what you're
hearing. Are you joking?
And so people would do that all the time. They're like, what are you listening to?
Go to, fam? What do you mean?
Yeah, mate, I lived in Mitcham, do you understand? So people used to do that all the time. So you just drag out your fucking headphone jack and that, but what are you listening to? But my music would come out, I'd be like, why are you listening to that? Like, you're such a bounty. Like, I'm sure so many people have heard that fucking saying. But
I've never been called a bounty, to be honest.
Do you think been called a bounty? No, I was actually called a bounty by I think it's worse to be called it by
a white
black
person.
people, but actually I feel like black people always say
mad
that. Yeah,
you're called bounty.
It would be even wilder if a white person just said that to me.
Wait, so question though, do you feel like you ever had bounty traits?
That had what?
Do you ever think you had bounty traits?
bounty traits, but I don't know what the fuck that even means though.
Okay, so
think,
do you know what bounty means?
I know what it means. Right. But what I'm saying is I don't know. It doesn't even make sense. Like, so a bounty, what they would try and say is like, oh yeah, you're well spoken. You do things that are like typically seen to be white. But I mean, like, what does that even mean? Though?
But
Why is there any one way to be?
So what I mean is like, how I understand bounty is more like you're embracing white culture more so than your own. In like, maybe that might be in front of like people. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just asking a question.
No, I would never say that, and I wouldn't say that anyone should even try to would identify as that.
You don't think anyone should be identified as that? Sorry.
No, because what does that even mean?
I mean, I think whilst the word bounty or coconut, however you want to say it, is definitely not. That's just mean to like try and like characterize someone as that. I think that there's something to say about people, like, you know, black people who don't embrace their own culture.
Oh yeah, no, but that's a whole different thing though. So when they were saying it to me, they were saying because I listen to rock music, which is ridiculous to say. I mean, that's a whole other thing. If you're like black and you're not embracing your culture, that's just a completely different thing. But no, I've never not embraced being black. I mean, I'm a black person. I'm always going to be black wherever I go. But no, like, just because I listen to rock music, I don't think I should have ever been called that. It was just ridiculous. But yeah, eventually people got over it and they were like, she listens to what she listens to in it. So it was fine. And then like a few of my friends were getting into it as well, and they were like other black girls as well, and then like there were a few Asian girls and Asian guys. So there was a whole like bunch of us who were listening to that sort of music. So yeah, it was really cool to like find people who were into the same thing, and I didn't feel ashamed after that, after being called a bounty.
So I feel like from this discussion, and maybe that's something we can go into at either a later date or later on today, but it seems that that's something that really hurt you.
I mean, it didn't help me. I just think it's stupid. Because even then I was like, what?
I think the reasoning for why they were calling it a bounty, it's like, that is stupid. However, I think that there's like issues with like,
there's like a deeper layer, yeah.
But there's like issues like with people, like there's definitely people that I grew up with that were just like, they just weren't fucking with black people like that, or they had issues with black men,
those
or
sort of people.
Whatever the case is.
That's fucking sad.
And so, you know, I think that
that is an issue.
And or like, yeah, they didn't want to talk to black people.
Though, isn't it? Well, I won't see.
But I understand, but then at the same time, like, just to look on the flip side of it, right? So it's like, I understand why black people or other black kids might refer to someone as bounty who they saw listening to that kind of music, because they're probably thinking, oh, like they probably like put that together and thought that, you know, okay, well, if they listen to that music, that means that they have to be like this. So whilst it's not right, and obviously that just takes a conversation for them to really understand like the, you know, true intentions or the true personality of that particular person. I can understand why that they might come to that conclusion though, to be honest. Like, I can understand that, but I don't agree with it. I can understand, but I can, like, when you're younger, you don't know, right? You just don't know.
Yeah,
so
if obviously that's the whole thing, because you're young.
Huh?
So people are immature anyway when they're young.
Exactly.
So yeah, I was gonna say that people were just stupid when you were like 14.
So I don't agree with it, and it's not okay to call anyone a bounty. But yeah, I can understand like not knowing, not really having the mental kind of, you know, capacity or, you know, the intellect to like come to those conclusions. Like, I can understand, like, it was a big thing when I was growing up, and I'm sure when you're growing up too, because we're similar age. So
but touching on that though, it's quite interesting that you say that, because like everyone's talking about education in schools, especially when they're talking about black history, and the history of like the British Empire, which hasn't been spoken about, and I think when that conversation was being brought up a few weeks ago, it made me think back to like university, and like we only touched upon like blues and rock, and obviously like music technically started from black people if we really want to go back. So like it started from obviously like gospel and like blues and stuff like that. I remember at university we touched upon that for maybe like a week or 2 weeks of worth of lessons, and then we literally spent a whole month on like the Beatles and the Rolling Stones, who basically ripped off black artists and profited from that, especially the Rolling Stones. So like the education isn't there, and I feel like if we like learn about like our history, especially as black people, and like know that actually no, it was us who actually created like blues, it was us who actually created like rock and roll music, there would be like less ignorance towards listening to different genres of music. I think that's definitely like really important for people, for us to know our history, because there's so many things that we have like to be proud of that we just don't know about, and it's quite sad really. So
yeah, I agree. I mean, yeah, when I was going to uni, they did like a history of like jazz, and they only mentioned Stevie Wonder, and like so this came out recently. This came out recently because one of the fellow people in my course, a black woman, she walked out angry. She was just like, you didn't even mention Herbie Hancock, let alone whoever else he didn't mention. And she left and just crazy. Walked out the lecture. And it's mad. It's actually very mad.
That's outrageous. It is.
It's like very mad. Very, 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 very mad. And obviously he was a white lecturer, so.
Well, there you go. So yeah.
No,
I mean, I think that like.
Yeah, sorry. I was gonna say we digress, but actually, really interesting conversation, to be honest.
It is an interesting conversation. There's like so many layers to it. I think like just listening to music, especially as a black person, there's a lot of layers to it. And like I think just being a black person generally, like you tend to be like pigeonholed into a box, and like that's the one thing with music is that it's so limitless, and it allows you the freedom to express yourself, like because I feel like music and fashion for me personally, they go hand in hand, and like the music that I listen to really influences how I dress, and like just music. I just think music is amazing, and like it can reach without people who are not even like communicative, or like people who are mute, for example. If they listen to music, they can feel that, and like they can express feelings in ways that they don't even know how to like verbalize, and like that's why I think it's so powerful. That's how I feel about music.
100% agree. And no, I agree. I think that music is a powerful tool, and I think it's the one sort of language of the world. So I really do believe that no matter where you go, like you can definitely learn. And one of my favorite things to do is to go to like different countries and just discover like their sort of like native music. In Cape Verde, for example, they have like a lot of different like native music and dances that they do, and it's really, really cool.
Oh, that's so cool.
And obviously there's so many different like musics that come from like South America and things like that. So and obviously, I'll never ever not mention Africa. I think it's important to expand our horizons, but I think it's also important to realise that like music is like it invokes a different feeling in everyone, and there's no such thing as like that this is weird. So like as you heard in this episode, like Afia and I sort of mentioned we don't really vibe, for example, with folk music, but like we can understand like how that can evoke an amazing emotion in someone else, and it's just really good to just like expand your horizons, maybe listen to something that you didn't think you'd listen to, and see how that makes you feel. Take away the bias, take away the preconceived like notion, and just like open to it with like a fresh set of ears.
Definitely. Just one question to end it with: what is a song or an artist that you'd recommend to the listeners to check out?
That's such a
maybe I should let you prepare this one. That's such
a hard one. Okay, so if it's just such a hard question, but I'll answer it. So I would say probably, I actually discovered her the other day. She's called Rihanna, I think I want to say Rihanna J. She's amazing. She's kind of that definitely like chill like sort of, I wouldn't say R&B, chill soul-ish kind of vibe, alternate alts kind of vibe. She does a lot of work with like Selection, which is a fucking cool ass collective of just like I guess actually like alternate like lo-fi kind of music, based out of LA. And she's got a song called Love Me Like, which is really dope. So I would recommend her, Rihanna J. She's actually wicked. What about you?
That's right. Oh, that sounds really cool. I've never listened to them, but I'll definitely check it out. My one is not a new artist. It's actually just Jimi Hendrix. But it's basically this album that I didn't actually know they released. I think it was released in like 2015. And it's from the album People, Hell and Angels. And the song is called Somewhere. And I really like this song because it's just classic Jimi Hendrix. Okay. I love Jimi Hendrix.
Legend.
If you didn't know.
Absolute legend.
I think he's got, I mean, obviously he's an amazing guitarist, but I also think he's a great lyricist as well. Somewhere is just like a classic Jimi Hendrix song. So if you haven't heard that song, or if you haven't listened to that album, then I'll definitely recommend it.
Great.
So
guys, definitely it comes to another episode. We definitely want to say thank you so much, like, for the support, for sure.
Thank you for listening.
For real, we're two black girls who may or may not be like slightly different from the norm, probably more like we are slightly different from the norm, and we're just chatting our shit, sharing our opinions. So we really do appreciate like all the support.
And people are actually listening. What people are listening? What's going on?
Yeah, I know. I'm not gonna front like we were low-key shook.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we should. Oh wait, we should actually, guys. We've actually had over 300 listens.
Yeah, we have. So shout out.
Like, I don't understand how, but like, yeah, it's actually really sick. So yeah, thank you for your support and thank you for listening.
Definitely,
it does mean a lot. So yeah.
Till next time, guys.
That's us. Yeah. See you guys later.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.